and welcome to CX Today. I'm Rhys Fisher, and today I'm going to be speaking with Peter Fedarb, a Senior Presales Consultant at Enghouse. Peter, thanks for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Ruth. Good, yourself?
Yeah, very good. Looking forward to the chat today, where we're going to be talking about kind of the importance of QA in helping to support and inform CX departments, and how AI and automation has really kind of drastically altered the role, I guess, and the impact of QA recently. I know in the past, NGOs has spoken about the ability now to evaluate every customer interaction. So I suppose let's start there. What would it actually mean for a contact center if every customer interaction could be evaluated automatically?
Well, I think the two big pieces there, Reese, are going to be the every interaction. So most people, when they're looking at doing scorecarding, are doing that very small sample set of their calls that are coming in. If you can do all, you're going to get a broad spectrum picture of everything that's happening there. So you're going to get some more accuracy around whether it's a nuanced problem where agent just had a lapse of judgment, or if there's a repetitive problem within there. That accuracy of all of the interactions being done is really the key there. The automatically part really gives you the key to saving some time. Rather than a human having to do that, it's going to take that time that you spend looking for problems and just allow you to put that into reviewing the data and fixing the problems, or spending that time on training or reflection that you need to within the contact center.
Right. So I guess many teams still do rely on manual QA. What are the biggest challenges you see with that approach, and how does automation change things?
There are things that people were mentioning in sort of the manual world around sort of unconscious bias of team leaders maybe sort of skipping a bad result and doing another one instead, just really to try and get a more balanced picture. I mean, really sort of, getting a little bit of wavy results sometimes in doing things like that. Whereas if you're doing everything, you can trust that, is it a blip, as I was saying before, is it just a minor issue that's going on, or is it something that's more widespread that's there? So that overall picture is really the key, the difference between the two. But I think, some of the things that I've had feedback around this topic are from supervisors is the time that they actually take to react to problems in the manual environment. If I'm scorecarding on a Friday, if you like, and then I'm reviewing in the following week, then I get the feedback on the following Friday. It's a long cycle to get a resolution and then monitor if that's having effect. And doing it automatically in real time enables me to perhaps glance at the dashboard, have a look, see if there's a problem that's happened this morning, have a quick chat with an agent, and see them improve in the afternoon. So sort of you can break that sort of more fixed time into sort of small segments in your day where you've got to reflect, but also sort of get that into to practice a lot quicker and see that result happening that's there. It's not going to be spread out over weeks and months. You could probably get that done in the same day.
You mentioned they're getting that feedback from some customers. I was wondering, could you maybe share an example where automated evaluation uncovered insights that perhaps would have been missed by traditional methods?
Yeah, sure. I mean, with the sort of evaluation there, I think everyone's got an idea of what their performance is, but they're never quite sure of the accuracy of it because it is based on their sample. So I've had customers that thought they were doing a lot worse. They were only doing 0.5% of the calls. The AI did sort of 50,000 calls for them in a month, everything that came in. And realistically, what they found out, they were doing a lot better than what they were doing. So a lot of people have the expectation to go and uncover things that are worse. It also enabled them, and what they found within there is that they could target into what were the real problems, the prolific problems, the repeated problems, if you like, rather than the exceptions where there was that lapse of judgment. That's really one of the key things that they found within that environment. But I think, when you're looking at sort of, the differences between the manual evaluation and the automatic evaluation that's there, if you're going to ask the same questions, if you like, you're going to get the same answers pretty much, maybe a higher accuracy. So I think one of the things that people will do when they start to realize that there's very little effort to get the AI to ask another question or look at another question and another question is you're going to start looking for things within that environment you weren't looking before because you didn't have the time to look for those before. So I think people will take those maybe 10 questions they're scorecarding. Once they're happy with those will expand to 15, maybe 20 questions to look at some of those things that they think or suspect may be going on, but didn't have enough time to look for, and find out whether there are problems within that environment.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess for a final question here, if you had to give CX leaders one piece of advice for starting their automation journey, what would it be?
I think that the best thing is you can think about these things too much. The best thing to do is to give it a try and to be open minded when you're trying it. We say we can evaluate all interactions coming in, but you might find there might be a few things in your environment that you're doing specifically that might be complex, that might be still be better done by a human. That be open minded. That the AI, if it can do 80 to 90% of what you want it to do, that's great. That's still a win for everybody at that point in time. The other thing is there's lots of other things that exist within this space, and we get very closed into that sort of scorecarding, doing those 10 questions. Where what you can actually do is get the AI to look for other things, perhaps to look for keywords that are happening there, flag it up with a call. It could replace your wrap-up codes. You could also get the AI to flag something that was very important, perhaps cancelling an order or a safeguarding issue, and trigger an immediate alert to a supervisor so that call gets reviewed a lot quicker. There are some things where we have to be a bit more open-minded in this environment. Yes, have the target to get done what you're already doing and help you out in that space, but also leave a little bit of time into your project to expand it to things you may not have first thought you'd be able to get it to do. Also, as I said, 10 questions, 20 questions, the AI doesn't mind. It doesn't complain like humans do. If you double its workload, it will still get on with that and do it quite happily for you.
That's great. Thanks, Peter. I think it's been a really great chat, and I think it's about we talk a lot about AI's impact in the customer service and experience space, but I think QA is perhaps arguably the place where it's having the biggest impact. So I think it's a really interesting area to discuss right now.
I think it is the area that is going to have the biggest impact. I think it's been the biggest leap in technology. Doing this previously would have been a lot harder with transcription, just translating words, if you like. But with natural language engines now, it understands a full conversation. It needed to get to that stage to start in this technology. But I don't think the world is done there yet with it. It will be helping you out and recommending training programs in future for you. There's already things available in there to translate between different languages. So you might end up the global QA person where it's translating calls from very many different languages into your language, so you can understand the feedback as well. There's lots of different things and capabilities within that space. I don't think the technology is quite done with it yet, but I think it's a good place at the moment where it'd be a good benefit to most people and most organisations.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It seems it's definitely one of those spaces I think that's worth keeping an eye on right now. There's going to be a lot of changes, like you said. So yeah, thanks again. And also, I just wanted to quickly thank our viewers for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, you can head on over to CX Today for more stories like these. Until next time, thanks for watching.